Okay, everybody, I am so excited today because I am joined by the brilliant Sarah Adina Smith, director, writer of Amazon original movie Birds of Paradise. It is out now. How are you doing today, Sarah?
I'm doing great. And I'm really excited to talk to you.
I'm really excited to talk to you. It's cool you're in this like amazing HD quality right now. I feel like I'm talking to like someone from a different dimension. It's
You
just
should see what I'm looking at. Cause like when I was told we were doing these Zooms, I just was like, oh, it's just like with my laptop, but there's this whole like amazing control room here happening. It's very,
this is amazing. Like I feel like I'm like this is where you go when you die. Like you're the person greeting me. Like I see the light on you, and I'm just
what do
like,
you want to know? I'm the person at the gate guarding the gates to wherever you're going. I will tell you
I
whatever you
love
want to
it.
know.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I want to know. What I want to know is that you brilliantly adapted a novel, and having that you adapt as a writer, how do you decide for that novel, what to keep in and what to cut? What is your process on that?
Well, luckily with this project, I was given carte blanche by the author to just kind of take it and run with it, which is like that's the best as a writer. So I just kind of I thought the book had a really enticing tone, and I loved the idea of this competitive world of ballet and these characters, and I kind of just ran with it and wanted to explore the themes that were most interesting to me, which was really about like where ambition and libido collide,
Mm.
and a lot of questions about the fluidity of our identities as we're starting to find out who we are. And then also themes about grief and pain and loss, and about whether redemption is possible even when you perhaps have done something unredeemable.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. You're talking about the themes, and I wonder when you're consciously thinking about the themes when you're writing, but you're also trying to squeeze in character arcs with.
Yep.
Is it more challenging though, being a two-hander instead of just following one protagonist
Totally.
here?
You're
Is
the
how
first
do you
person who's
balance that?
asked me that today, and it
Ooh.
absolutely is. It's really hard to write a movie that has two true protagonists, and I kind of tried to do it with a bait and switch. So with
Mm.
this movie, I was kind of luring the audience in with a storyline that you kind of recognize and is a bit more expected, of like, here's the outsider, the sort of more clumsy, dorky girl from Virginia coming into that competitive world of ballet with the mean girl, and you kind of like get it, and you think you get it, and then hopefully the movie surprises you, and we do sort of a protagonist switcheroo on you.
Yeah, and speaking of that protagonist switcheroo, I also wonder, is it challenging because there's not in this film a clear-cut antagonist per se? So when you're
Yeah,
kind of trying to find ways to create conflict, are you
yeah.
okay with doing it between your protagonists instead of worrying about having maybe just some
I
straight up
love
villain or?
I really love your questions, and I love that you asked that, because I really was trying not to make I like for this first of all, I'm a genre filmmaker. I love genre. I love when things go arch. But for this movie,
Yeah.
I was trying to play to the genre of dance movies a little bit, but still have a really human core. And I like to approach things as a writer and director of my characters, that like there is no evil character
Mm.
necessarily. You have to
Hmm.
kind of love each of your characters and understand where even those bad choices might come from, rather than kind of judging them as villains.
No, I like that. And it's more gray look to it, and it's interesting. You have amazing two lead actresses here, and you get
Mhm.
amazing performances out of them, but they're handling very heavy moments, very dark scenes. How conscious are you of making sure they're comfortable as a director? How much responsibility
Yeah.
is that as a director for that?
For me, that's the most sacred part of my job, and I consider it my most important job as a director, is making sure the actors know they can trust me completely, and that I'm going to create as the kind of space and the working environment on set for them to do their best work, and to know that they can make mistakes, and that I want them to feel like they can fail. Sometimes it's really important to be able to fail in order so that we can both discover something new together. So that is really paramount. And particularly in roles like this, where not only are they being stretched emotionally and spiritually and intellectually, but they're in rigorous physical training. So that adds a whole additional layer, in addition to shooting all day, they're still having to work their bodies it I think that ballet is probably one of the very most athletic things humans can do. And Diana and Christine, they would be the first to say there's no way to just become a ballerina overnight. They would have had to start training when they were, tiny children. So it's not like we're not trying to fool the audience into thinking that all the ballet dancing was done by them. We use dance doubles, but I am so proud of how much actually in the movie is the two of them and how much they did on their own. And not only that, but by going through all that rigorous physical training, I think it added a real depth and complexity to their characters because they had experienced what it was like to have that kind of discipline.
Yeah, no doubt. And I give props to the director for that, to let their actors show their best stuff. And for me, for both those actors, it was showing me that range they have, and you let them kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
And it comes off amazing,
Well, and I think going back to the adaptation, I wrote the adaptation for them in mind specifically, which I think also really helped because I could really tailor the characters. Christine and Diana, so talented and so different as people and as actors. And so it was such a treat for me as a writer and a director to think about crafting characters for each of them that would play to their strengths, but then also push them and challenge them to find new levels of their craft.
Right.
For a lot of ways, this was an exercise for me in like, can I take two up and coming, exciting, new new actors and break new movie stars. And I wanted to create a vehicle for them that would show the world, like, these two can carry movies, that they're that good. Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing, is that you've also created a vehicle for yourself, because this is exciting for you, that this is going to really put you more on the map. This isn't your first rodeo, but this one I feel like will push you up those director power rankings, wherever those power rankings are. But everyone, check this film out. It is out now on Amazon Prime Video. It is Birds of Paradise. You are not going to regret watching this. It is awesome. I'm so honored to be joined by you today, Sarah, and I hope to talk to you again in the future one day.
I love talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.